Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about having the right equipment for when you catch your muskies. Starting with the net. So you hooked into your fish, you're reeling them to the boat, you gotta net them. Have a big net, giant hoop. The bigger the hoop, the better. If you have a smaller hoop and that fish has got the bait hanging out of his mouth, might catch the edge. We've all seen it happen before. The bait catches the edge, the fish rolls off the side, pulls the hooks out, fish swims away free, and your heart sinks. So get a giant hoop on your net, but not just a giant hoop, make sure you have a giant bag. If you leave a comment, I can respond with where I got this netting from, because I don't remember right now, so I can Google that for you. But this is a giant bag. It's actually, I think, 4 feet deep, maybe more. I'm 6'1" for size, and it's pretty tall. You might be wondering, why do I have a net that's like 4 or 5 feet deep? The answer is because when the net is hanging off the side of the boat, you want it to be able to go in the water. So when you catch your muskie, you can leave it in the bag while you're getting ready to take them out. So first thing I do, once the fish is sitting in the bag, besides cheering, is probably putting my gloves on. Get a pair of fish gloves. They're good for your fingers, keep you from getting bit to an extent, and they're good for the fish. So grab yourself a pair of gloves. Next thing you're gonna need, once the gloves are on, bait's still in the fish's mouth because you hooked them perfect, and you need pliers. So have more than one. You'll probably drop one in the lake at some point and wish you had a second one. I have like 5 or 6 sets of pliers, and I also have, this one is a split ring pliers, because when you cut your hooks out of the fish's mouth, it's nice to have a split ring pliers on to put your hooks back on, because you're not going to run around fishing with a 2-barbed hook. So get split ring pliers as well on top of all those pliers you already have, so you can put hooks back on once you cut them. On the topic of cutting hooks, get a real hook cutters. This is a Knipex or Knipex, however you want to pronounce it, made in Germany. It cuts these hooks like a hot knife through butter. It just goes. You don't even know the hook's there. Put the hook in, squeeze, fell like that. So get a hook cutters, real hook cutters. Not a side cutters, won't work. I encourage you, if you have a hook cutters, if you've never cut a hook before, try and cut one. If it's really difficult to do just holding the hook out in front of you, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to do when that fish has got the bait in his mouth and you're trying to cut him. You might end up with a hook in your hand, and nobody wants that. So after you've got the hooks out of your muskie, you got to measure them. Everybody wants to know how big your 48-incher was. So by the time you get to landing, when he was 50, and then home he's 55, everybody knows that he was 60 inches. Just turn this around. I measure mine with a bump board. I'm sure tape measure and everything would do, but I think the bump board's the best way to measure a muskie. You dip it in the water, and then the bump board will be wet, and I think that's better for the slime coat of the muskie themselves. They stress very easily, so the less stress you can put on them after you've caught them, the better. And you bump the head up against here, not too hard. Back along there. Hopefully it hits the red or green bar or beyond would be the goal. Me personally, I've fallen just short of the red bar a few times, but this year's the year we passed that. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys next Friday.